celebration of the harvest of this crop. This is a much-awaited event in every student's life as it gives the returns to the efforts put in by the students throughout their academic endeavors. We are thankful that we have finally gathered amidst the tough situations at hand to celebrate this achievement.
Let's start this celebration with a word of prayer. I request our chief guest, Dr. V.N. Rajashekharan Pillai, our guests of honor, Professor Chirayu Bhatt, Professor Samir Shah, Dr. Srivatsman, to kindly come forward to light the lamp.
Welcome all of you for the 7th graduation day of McGANS Ooty School of Architecture. In fact, 2 days are very important, the induction day and the graduation day. Graduation day takes you to the next step of your career. Way things are moving. Before I give the formal welcome address, I like to just say a few words. The way this technology digitalization process is taking us, it is impacting even the architecture field. In fact, a lot of new technology integrations related to artificial intelligence, digital, 3D, 4D printing are changing even the world of architecture. Though traditional architecture is going to continue, a lot of emerging new fields are coming related to architecture using the technologies. In fact, I request the students here who is going to be graduated to read a book which was awarded the best technology book for the year 2020. And they have written about even the architecture, how it's in the future. And the book name is, the title is fantastic, Future is Faster Than You Think. I repeat, the future is faster than you think. Amazing way the world is going to transform. And architecture has got a great role to play, including everything, transportation. I was reading that book, Elon Musk says that he is going to take Bombay to New York in 39 minutes in 10 years. Can you believe this? I'm not able to believe it. New York to Sydney in 29 minutes. The things are going to change. My dear friends, it's a great opportunity for you to have the traditional architect integrate with the new technologies. In fact, the morning, the breakfast meeting, I was talking to the SET people. Even the SET University is also doing the same thing. They are also wants to integrate technology with the architecture. And today we have eminent guests, and one Mr. Rajashekharan Pillai, the Vice Chancellor of Somaiya Vidyavidya University. More than that, he was the Vice Chairman for UGC, acting Chairman of UGC, and brought a lot of reforms in the Indian education system. A great educationist, very active. I was very impressed when I think he's attending more than 300 convocations. I think it must be 310 or 320 with no numbers. So such a great eminent is going to be the chief guest and going to honor us by speech I'm going to award you degrees. And also it's a great opportunity for every one of us that we have the top academic team of CEPT University. All 3 or 4 of them are here to tell you that what is going to be happening in the future also. So that's the way. In fact, McGANS always stands apart. In fact, we have one of the best congregation guests today in the last 7 years. That's the way we improve. That's the way our chairman also thinks. Anyway, I really formally welcome the chief guest, Professor V.N. Rajshekhar Pillai, for the McGANS graduation day. So thank you very much for accepting our invitation. Next, Dr. Srivasthan, the Director of CEPT University, the Center for Research and Architecture, sir. Really warm welcome to you. Then Professor Samir Shah, the Dean, the CEPT Foundation Program. Thank you, sir, for accepting our thing. Shreya Bhatt, the Deputy Provost of CEPT University. And with Professor Ravindra Gundarao, Conservation Architect. And also our chairman, Murali Kumaran, is always there behind for every one of us, for taking us for a ride. Also welcome the principal, the dean, the faculties, the students and the parents for this wonderful graduation ceremony. Thank you for the great opportunity. Thank you.
I now call upon our principal, N.S. Saravanan, to honor our chief guest for the day, Dr. V.N. Rajashekharan Pillai.
Administrative department, faculty members, students, and all others on campus team up alike to maximize our mission to create an environment that shall aid the growth of intellectually capable, innovative, and entrepreneurial professionals who shall contribute to the growth of the society. To keep the gathering here in loop with the events, efforts, and multitudes of activities of this academic year, we request our principal, N.S. Saravanan, to kindly present the annual report.
Good morning, everybody. Dignitaries on and off the dais, parents, and my dear students, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all for the 7th graduation day. My capacity as principal, I have great pleasure in presenting this annual report for the academic year 2019-2020. Academic session for the year 2019-20 commenced for the senior classes on June 10, 2019. This was done 1 week before the set date by the university in order to give more contact hours to the student. The admission process for the academic year 2019 was duly carried out with an admission of 58 students into undergraduate program with 30 boys and 28 girls. Freshers were duly inducted into the institute on August 26, 2019. Induction day was duly observed in the presence of our chairman, Sri Murali Kumaran, and our correspondent, Mr. J.P. Gandhi. It was our good fortune having them here amidst the aspiring architects. They honored the function with their spirited and motivational speeches. The graduation day for the 6th batch, that is, those who graduated in 2018, took place on 17th March 2019. The chief guest was Professor M.K. Surappa, Vice Chancellor of Anna University, also present, where our chairman, Sri Murali Kumaran, and correspondent J.P. Gandhi. The students were fortunate to receive words of wisdom from all of them. Academic activities. The top 3 students of the 2018-19 batch, BR graduates from McGANS or Snega Srinivasan, University rank holder. Rosemary Sebastian, and C.P. Agas. From the MR batch, Shanti Suresh was not only the topper, but assured the rank #1 at the university. The last batch of final year BR students successfully carried out an urban development project comprising a detailed study and proposals for the city of Karaikal. The present final year have worked out on the proposals of 10 smart cities as the urban design project in the 9th semester. They are currently working on the thesis which conclude their 5 years of bachelor's education. 4th year students have undertaken campus design projects for the 7th semester in a site location in Auroville in Tamil Nadu. Design assignments of varying complexities were given to the students depending on the level of training, and the students were taken to visit build projects as relevant case studies in the current semester. The 3rd year worked out on multi-story residential project near the beach in Chennai. As a part of curriculum, the 2nd year students were expected to study a typical rural and ancient settlement and understand the social, economic and cultural aspects of the students studied 5 villages in 5 different parts of India, namely Madithurai in Tamil Nadu, Ludhiya in Gujarat, Chitkal in Himachal Pradesh, Nakshatra in Assam and Attapadi in Kerala, documenting various silent futures and their inferences. In the semester, they also designed a school for the development of the village. Various special lectures were organized to supplement the core subjects periodically through visiting professionals as well as the in-house senior faculty members. I take this opportunity to convey our appreciation to gratitude to all the external members who, despite their busy schedule, kindly agreed to help our students through their valuable guidance in the form of external jurors. Extracurricular and co-curricular activities. McGANS organized the Ooty Art Show for the 4th time from 24th to 31st May of 2019. It was done at the HADP Hall. 400 artworks in different mediums like drawings, oil paintings, watercolor paintings, tanjo painting, miniature and pencil carvings were exhibited. Workshops of tribals, that is Kurumba painting, Toda pottery and Kotha embroidery was conducted. McGANS organized an art camp on 26-27 January 2019 in Udagamandalam town, in which about 100 fine arts students from various fine arts colleges of Tamil Nadu participated and draw sketches of important tourist locations in and around Udagamandalam, numbering 250. The participants were issued the certificate by the district collector, Mrs. J. Innocent Divya, on 27th January of 2019. McGAN also conducted a wall painting competition between 21st and 24th February 2019. It was inaugurated by the Assistant Engineer, National Highways. Sports are an essential activity to build one personality and develop skills such as leadership and teamwork. The annual sports meet was conducted between 14th and 15th of February 2019, while volleyball and basketball was played at the campus itself. Athletics, football and cricket were conducted at the JSS school ground at Ooty. The Indian Red Cross of Ooty conducted one-day presentation for our students in our campus about the social awareness and disaster relief activities. Then participation in NASA. Our college participated in the 62nd Zonal NASA convention held at Marian College of Architecture and Planning, Trivandrum, and backed the overall trophy by receiving the citation for Rubens Trophy, SIDC and Convention Trophy. Our college has been ranked among the top 10 colleges in India for academic excellence by the National Association of Students of Architecture. Virtual reality and augmented reality workshop conducted by Mr. Venkatesh Alvar during the month of November 2019. Institutional Innovation Council member Dr. Vinod conducted seminars in the month of December 2019. Drawing competition held by Traffic Department regarding the awareness of the safety. Our students won 3 prizes. JCA Nilgiris conducted JCA Star Quest. Our students got overall second prize in those competitions. A lot has been done. Yet a lot is still to be done. We resolutely march on our quest to go higher, stronger and faster all around. We have plans to intensify our academic and extracurricular activities during the next academic year and continue to pursue excellence through the support of the faculty and encouragement of our management. Thank you very much for your attention.
Kumaran to kindly declare the graduation ceremony open.
The graduation day of McGANS Ooty School of Architecture has been called to order on behalf of Anna University to confer the degree in the Faculty of Architecture upon the students who in the examination held in May 2019 for the purpose having been certified to be worthy of the same, and I declare the graduation day open.
Request Dr. Srivatsan to come forward to address the gathering.
It's a beautiful winter day in Ooty. I'm very happy to be here, and I thank Megan for inviting me and along my colleagues from SEPT Ahmedabad. Let me first join everyone here in congratulating the graduates and also the parents who are assembled here. It's a milestone in their life and career ahead. I wish you all the best. And this morning also brings another good news for those who have looked at the newspapers. The Indian economy is being predicted for a V-shaped recovery, and 11% growth has been predicted. So which means, in a sense, some of the hardships of the last year would soon be past, and hopefully the economy will do good, and which to us, particularly in graduates, it's a good news, because with the economic growth comes many opportunities, and any amount of uncertainty or whatever amount of uncertainty that was brought in the previous year, we can assume or we can hope would be a thing of past, and it would open us more opportunities, in professional opportunities as we go forward. I often say, despite the last year's setback, I always say that this is a great time to be an architect and start practicing. And of course, there are quite a few people who disagree with me, and they say, in fact, this is probably a pep talk rather than actually based on fact. On the other hand, I strongly believe, based on my own experience and research and following contemporary practice in India, this certainly is a better time to practice. I'm sure the last year's Supreme Court judgment, which allowed engineers to also offer professional practice, added to the uncertainty whether there was enough opportunity for architects and what would be the future of the practice and so on and so forth. While that is true, in a sense that was seen as a setback, but the profession is not dependent on any act. The profession is dependent on its professionals and what kind of work the professionals put up. And the growth in architectural education profession has been phenomenal since post-independence. From 1972, when it was only 17 colleges and just 600 students, today we have 450 and more colleges producing almost 20,000 graduates every year, which though people say more quantity is less quality, is an unfounded truth. The fact is the quality and quality are not necessarily proportional. There is a challenge in scaling up education. And if you look at the numbers, and for those who have seen the Council of Architecture's 25 years prospective plan, currently the ratio between population and a number of architects ranges somewhere between one architect for 25,000 to one architect to 53,000, and in Bihar it is one architect to 2 lakhs people. Whereas the Council of Architecture has a very ambitious plan to bring this ratio to one architect to 9,000 population, because the country needs that kind of service. The growth of the cities is phenomenal. There is an enormous economic growth, all presents opportunities, and these opportunities have to be realized, and the country needs wonderful buildings, well-functioning stations, good institutions, and so on. So the council foresees a lot of possibilities, and it has an ambitious plan to increase the numbers. So which means probably in 10 years down the line, we'll have twice more architects as we are having today. And that counts because one sees a possibility. Not that that's not without challenges, it has its own challenges. For example, this is not a scientifically conducted study, but this is again quoted in the council report. For every 100 buildings, only 2 buildings are designed by architects. So there is still scope of the practice or opportunities for architects to increase, and that can only come by increasing the constituency for good design. The constituency of good design is primarily at the moment limited to houses and maybe institutions. And slowly as we go forward and more architects come and more good buildings are built, the demand for design is going to only increase. And the value of design is already realized in our society, as we would see now the demand for good products, starting with phone, which are to furniture, to fabric. There is a great sense of awareness of what design can contribute. And probably Solomon will also be on the 3rd generation of architects here. So the first generation of architects starting from 1950 to almost 1970s, and some of the names maybe you're familiar, maybe you're not familiar. For example, Master Asate in Bhuta, our own Pitavadin at Chennai. You have a great career ahead, either it's professional or academic or research. To choose the path that you would want to excel, and you would certainly do so. So let me conclude by once again congratulating all the wonderful graduates here and their proud parents, and I wish you all the best. Things are only looking better for us, and I'm sure collectively we will strengthen this profession. Thank you so much.
Call upon Professor G. Selvakumar to introduce our chief guest for the day.
Honorable Chief Guest and a distinguished guest from SEPT Ahmedabad, and our beloved chairman, and our correspondent, and our director friend, and principal, co-faculties, and press friends, and my dear students, and the proud parents. A very good morning to all of you. And on behalf of McGANS, it's my duty to welcome our chief guest, Professor V.N. Rajashekharan Pillai, very fondly called as V.N.R. Pillai, is the Vice Chancellor of Somaiya Vidyavihar University and Provost of Somaiya Vidyavihar and Somaiya Ayurvihar under the Somaiya Trust, Mumbai. She has been at the helm of affairs of many higher educational and scientific research establishments for almost 50 years as a teacher, researcher, professor, and executive head of education, science, and technology establishments in our country and abroad. An elected fellow of Indian Academy of Sciences, Professor Rajashekharan Pillai is one among the top-cited chemistry researchers in the country. He created an internationally renowned research group in the area of polymer science. About 60 doctoral and postdoctoral researchers have been trained under his direct supervision in the universities of Calicut, Mahatma Gandhi University, Kottayam, University of Tübingen, and in the University of Mainz, Germany. He was also a visiting research professor in the University of Lausanne, Switzerland. Top executive positions which he occupied include the vice chairmanship and chairmanship of the University Grants Commission, UGC, Government of India, Executive Director of the National Assessment and Accreditation Council, NAC, Government of India, Vice Chancellor of Indira Gandhi National Open University, IGNOU, Chairman of the Distance Education Council, Government of India, and Vice Chancellor of Mahatma Gandhi University, Kottayam, Kerala, Vice Chancellor of Cochin University of Science and Technology, Kerala, Executive Vice President of the Kerala State Council for Science, Technology and Environment, ex officio Principal Secretary of the Department of Science and Technology, Government of Kerala, Chairman of the Kerala Coastal Zone Management Authority and of the Ministry of Environmental and Forest, Government of India, and Chairman of the Kerala Biotechnology Commission. After superannuation from the Government of India and Government of Kerala, Professor Pillai worked as President of Mewar University, Chittagong, and Rajasthan. He is also working as President of a new Delhi NCR-based civil society organization, Human Development Foundation India, since 2015. He is on the Director Board of Apollo Group of Hospitals and on the board of several academic and research establishments in the country and abroad. He is also serving as the Chancellor of ICFAI, University of Tripura, and as its Chairman, Board of Governors. And the list goes on and on. And before I conclude, I would like to share a few informations which was told to me. A few, one or two about our chief guest is as follows. It could be an inspiration for all your youngsters and professionals and friends alike. That the offices at Delhi on an average operate from 10 o'clock in the morning. But for our chief guest, our professor, it starts at 7:15 in the morning, 7:15 a.m. He is there, sharp in his office, receives all the visitors, listens to them meticulously, saying no to anybody, one by one meticulously. If it could be cleared across the desk, their problems are cleared, or the notes are signed off, or the files are cleared. Pending any file seeking better attention of us are kept by the table side. And he goes back on a Saturday and Sunday, parking his vehicle 2 blocks away or 3 blocks away so that the visitors do not find that professor is available in the office, just for him to focus on his files. And goes through the files on a Saturday and Sunday and clears all the files. No files are kept on his table pending for any of his approvals or decisions. It's all clear. The table is kept immaculately clean. And when asked, sir, how do you manage this kind of a work? How do you manage your time? And his only reply is, people who work always get their time. What a wonderful statement it is. If you're working, there will never be a paucity of time. The time is always available. And he's been demonstrating this for the last 50 years. Time and again, in all those questions which I was reading it to you. And what a wonderful and truly inspirational dignitary he was, sir. and you are an inspiration for all of us. And on behalf of McGANS, it's an honor and privilege for us to invite you here to be with us and request you to address the graduation address, please. Thank you so much.
First of all, let me thank for the very kind words about him, about me. Basically, I am a teacher. I am teaching since 1971 in the university system in the country. Even today, I teach. I go to the classroom and teach. And all the other positions which was mentioned by the dean, it is supplementary or complementary to myself as a teacher. So wherever I worked, I always thought I'm a teacher, and therefore I should be working in that perspective to see education reaches in the right way. I'm extremely glad to come to this institution, which I know for the since its inception in 2008. I have visited this institution, of course I mentioned the college, McGANS, Ooty, a college of School of Architecture, MOSA short form. I know the chairman personally. He has been a friend and a guide to me, not a philosopher, friend and a guide to me. He has guided me in several other critical legal problems also. And I am extremely glad that he's actively and passionately engaged and involved in building up institutions, in building up education institutions. And of course, this institution, for the last 12 years, it has been performing very well. You heard about the activities. Dear students, you know it more. Let me take this opportunity to first congratulate all the graduates who are getting the BR degree of the Anna University through this premier institution. I also take this opportunity to congratulate and appreciate the efforts taken by the principal, the dean, the head of the department, and all the teachers and the non-teaching staff who have supported the building up of this institution and also who have contributed to your educational achievements. Convocation or graduation is not the end of education. It is only probably you are getting a license for education. That's all. Now, license, just by this degree, you are getting a license for further education. That is usually we define convocation like that. So far you have been protected by the teachers, by the institution, the four walls of the institutions, your parents, all these protections were there. Now with this knowledge and capabilities, you are going outside to the outside world and trying to practice what you have learned. And therefore, it is very important that to know the purpose of learning. Of course, you know the celebrated purpose of learning. Learning to know, to get knowledge. Learning to do, that is to do, to get skills. Learning to learn, that's very important. How to learn further. And then learning to live together in a multicultural society in harmonious coexistence. These are the very celebrated purpose of learning. I would also add yet another purpose for learning for the young fresh graduates, learning to unlearn. You have learned a lot of things. You have heard lectures, you have done practicals, you have experiential learning, you have visited several institutions, you have seen many very big professionals, pioneers in the field. Of course, these are all part of the learning. And of course, you have learned the knowledge, and you have got the knowledge and skills in your area. The knowledge and skills in your area. What is the purpose of this knowledge and skills? This knowledge and skills are for enhancing the quality of life and life management systems. When you say the quality of life, it is not just the life of the individuals or the mankind, life of the universe. You have to, that's very, very important. And life management systems, particularly when it comes to a profession like yours, defining and designing living spaces, defining and designing working spaces, defining probably traveling spaces, maybe in future several other contexts may turn out for enhancing the quality of life and life management systems. Your profession is of great importance. I don't want to speak much about the architecture and its ramifications, because we have 3-4 eminent experts from the area of architecture from a very premier institution in CEPT, and we have also a very distinguished person looking after the preservation of the traditional architecture and all that. And then of course you have several other experts. So I don't want to make a speech about architecture. But of course you know that it is not just an engineering subject, it is not just a social science subject, it is art, science, human sciences, everything put together, engineering sciences put together. If you just look at the articles on correlation or dependence between art and architecture, you might have read several articles on art and architecture. So creative skills, the creative skills are very important. These are all, what is it that art and architecture giving us? Pleasing, maybe visually pleasing things, and that adds to the joy of our feelings. So this is very important. And the curriculum, all these things Dr. Srivatsan mentioned about how the architecture as a subject has emerged, evolved and evolving, and in the original first lecture by the principal, he mentioned about the future of the architecture also. Yesterday we were traveling from Kottayam to this place. We had visited a temple, of course we live in region. We visited a temple that is in a place called Tirthala. I do not know, many of you may not know, in Palakkad district. It is a temple of Sri Varaha Murthy. We are visiting for the first time. Of course, the Murthy is keeping the entire world in his hands and protecting it. So see this, of course, even in our thinkings, in our belief systems, we have thinking to support the environment and all that. Of course, you know about the Ahmedabad school. This is also Center for Environmental Planning and Architecture, which is a university now. We have several institutions, premier institutions. We have in Indian system of our thinking, we have very noble thinkings and beliefs about architecture. I think you will be definitely learning some of these things. So of course, probably I was jumping from that learning to the purpose of learning, learning to know, learning to do, learning to learn, and learning to live together. I said I am adding a purpose, learning to unlearn. Learning to unlearn, I mentioned that you have to throw away some of the learnings, some of the things which you have learned traditionally, systematically. And on this convocation day, on this graduation day, you should have a feeling that what I have learned is this handful, and what remains to be learned is as big as this universe. What is that? It is humility. That is, only a person who knows that there are a lot of things to be learned, only such persons can learn new things. So unlearning is much more difficult than learning, and you should be always prepared to unlearn and learn. Unlearning, I mentioned, it's very difficult to throw away these prejudices. Of course, I used to go to convocations, a large number of institutions in Tamil Nadu also when I was relatively young. So in all convocations, I liked the saying, "Katrathu kaiman nalavu, kallathathu ulagalavu." what I have learned is this, this handful, what remains to be learned is as big as this universe. It is humility. It is humility. And that is what is required out of education. And probably you will be, you might have learned several things. You may be ending up with several other professions at a later time. I'm a chemist. When I was you may be knowing I'm a chemist. I started learning, of course I completed my master's and doctorate in chemistry in the early 70s. If I have not learned further, if I have not unlearned some of the old things which I have learned, probably I could not have remained as a chemist even now. That is the time, that is the way in which knowledge is expanding the thing. And we have also seen, this is a remarkable convocation this year, 2021, the 7th graduation day of your college. It's a remarkable convocation. Since March 19, I have been not seeing students. Of course, last 3 weeks ago I started interacting with the students and teachers also. It never happened in any one of our lives. So it's a remarkable convocation. So we have also seen in this adversity what changes, what transformations, whether it be digital transformation, technology imbibition, technology borrowing for all our activities. Possibilities are unlimited. That we always say there are unlimited possibilities. Probably possibilities may come in a very transformative and revolutionary way through pandemic situations or incidents like that. You have experienced it. Like for the almost last 1 month, we have been experiencing this. Teachers, housewives, everybody, from kindergarten to the postgraduate level, to the PhD level, students are seeing that. Teachers are facing that. Probably we all thought that, technology, how technology can transform the classrooms. We have also seen how the technology has transformed the classrooms. I used to say earlier, before this advent of the pandemic and all that, because being a passionate teacher, I used to say that technology cannot teach, only teachers can teach. But even now, I believe that only teachers can teach, not technology. But teachers should be ready to understand the context of technology and apply in the proper perspective. Therefore, we look at the positive things in a very positive way, and we respond to that, and we are definitely ending up with positive results in all our endeavors. In your profession also, you are seeing that, and I am very confident that the type of facilities which you have enjoyed here in this institution, and also the support from the teachers, from the infrastructure, all this, and also maybe you will have adverse experiences also, that you will see that those adverse experiences also you will capitalize on a later date. So you can be confident about it. I am once again thankful to Advocate Murali Kumaran, the principal, the deans, the heads of departments, the teachers, and the profession. I am very confident that you will succeed in your life, and you should be thankful to the institution which you studied, to the 100 people within the age group of 16 to 20. Only 5 of them got an opportunity to enter into the portals of an education institution. Enter into the portals of higher education. That was the stage. We have been through years trying to enhance this reach of higher education, and now, of course, it is 25% or something we are targeting. It is only enrollment. We have to look at the success ratio also. Not enrollment is not enough. We have to just look at gross success ratio. How meaningful and how productive we are offering education. And in this context, you are even now a privileged. We are all even now a privileged few. Even if I am talking about 25% of the whole colleges and universities in this country. You are in a very professional, very distinguished professional education institution, and that percentage will be maybe 0.5 or less, even much less than that. That is the thing. So you are a privileged few. Definitely you are a privileged few. You got these opportunities for a good education, good professional education, interaction with eminent people like those who are on the dais and the teachers. And therefore you should be always thankful to the institution, to the society which gave you this opportunity for education. And then you should be always thankful to your parents who have supported your education. Probably it is their expectations, and sometimes it may be their deprivations too that made this day possible for you. You should be always thankful to them. I know that the type of surroundings you live, the type of life you have so far lived, that will give you the right courage to think about such acknowledgement, giving such acknowledgement and thankfulness to the society and to your parents particularly. I wish you all the very best. I wish this institution all the best. I have seen this institution growing with tradition. I sincerely believe, I sincerely hope and pray that this institution becomes an institution of national importance or a university in the days to come to provide much more facilities to the society. Thank you very much, everybody, once again. Thank you.
Let the candidates be now presented. Anna University Gold Medalist, Masters in Environmental Architecture, Mrs. Santi Suresh. Master degree in Architecture, for which you have been declared qualified in this university. And in token, whereof you have been presented with this degree, and I authorize you to wear the robes ordained as the insignia of your degree. All the students shall remain standing for the pledge.
I say, we, the graduates of McGANS Ooty School of Architecture, hereby pledge that we shall always endeavor to be meticulously honest in the discharge of our duties as architects, that we shall always endeavor to utilize our knowledge of science and architecture for the service of our country and glory of our institute. That in all circumstances, we shall try to uphold the dignity of the individual and the integrity of the profession. That we shall in word and deed guard against all narrow loyalties and sectarian prejudices. And cherish with pride the basic unity of our country. Thank you.
While we see all the glittering newborn architects embarking on a new journey, we will be failing in our duty if we forget to acknowledge the mighty and meticulous efforts that our faculty members have put in for this fruitful day. It is the final call for us, the students of this institute, to salute the hard work put in by each faculty member, and as a token of our love, we request everyone to stand up and give them a big round of applause. Yet another round of applause for the impeccable and relentless support that the parents have put in. Kindly be seated.
You know, it has been a very fruitful journey for all of you young architects to achieve this particular important milestone. This event has been made possible by the esteemed presence of Dr. V.N. Rajshekharan Pillai, who has taken time out from his busy schedule to be with us. It's been very difficult for us to kind of get such an esteemed personality, but we are glad and we are very thankful that he's been here, and he's been here since last evening and has been having discussions with all of us, and very fruitful discussions with all of us. I thank you, sir. And I also thank the SEP team and our honorable guests, led by Professor Chirayu Bhatt, Deputy Provost Academics, Professor Sameer Shah, Dean of the FSDS program, and Dr. Srivatsan, Executive Director of CAU, for gracing us with their presence on this special day. We are thankful for this opportunity where SEPT and McGANS could bring about a wonderful collaboration to achieve new levels in architecture pedagogy. Thank you all. I also thank our guest of honor, Architect Ravindra Gundurao, for his participation in the event. He's been seated in the front row, but he's been having wonderful discussions with all of us since yesterday. All you students are invited to discuss, and if you want to converse with all of our guests, they are here. You can converse with them. They're all esteemed personalities. We thank our chairman, Sri N. Muralikumaran, for his august presence. All of this has been possible by his support. It's been a really wonderful occasion, but his agreement and his confidence has actually brought us together at this particular point of time. Thank you, sir. A special thanks is due for Sri J.P. Gandhi, our correspondent, who has been a pioneer in the Indian academia and who has been a regular contributor to our events. We also thank our director, Professor Solomon T. Velmuthu, for his august presence. I also thank our dean, Professor Selva Kumar, and our principal, Sri N. Saravanan, for their support for this particular event. And last but not the least, we also thank every student and their parents who have participated in this event showing extraordinary enthusiasm in making this gathering a very big success. I will now conclude with a special thanks to all faculty, students and volunteers who have contributed to this event. Thank you all.
Now declare the graduation day closed.
Day is now closed.
I request everyone to stand up for the national anthem.
Jana Gana Mana Adhinayaka Jaya